Hello Virgo peeps, this is your reading for August of 2022. There's a lot going on astrology wise. We're still going to do the card readings, but I wanted to do a little bonus thing and talk a little bit about this Uranus North Node conjunction, which is happening in the sign of Taurus. You're a Virgo, you're over here, right? So for everybody, what's going on for everybody? We've got the North Node conjunct Taurus, and then we've got Saturn here making a square to it. So Saturn and the North Node are both very karmic planets. So karmic energies are at play. Fated things are at play. Lots of, there's a lot of heavy kind of shifting around of energy that's going on. Now in your case, this stuff, so here's your Virgo. This is really more geared toward Virgo rising, but the rest of the reading can be for any Virgo energy. But this is going to be in your 9th house of long distance travel, learning, higher knowledge, and it's coming out of your 6th house of work and health over here. The Saturn square is. Saturn transiting your 6th house of work and health can be like Uranus wants freedom and Saturn wants to push you. They both want to align you with your fate and destiny. Saturn might do it in a way of making things difficult to kind of force you to go in another direction, while Uranus will open up the doors and open up the windows. I'm hearing that. Open up the doors and see all the people. That will pull you with excitement about what's new and what's coming. This is the future. Saturn is the past. It can be. It's the old paradigm, and this is the new paradigm. But it's coming through the sign of Taurus. So you may want to decide you're going to go back to school. Some of you may not want to work your job anymore, so maybe you're going to go back to school. You may have a health condition that you want to expand, and maybe the people that you're dealing with haven't been able to help you. You may want to expand out into some other kinds of healing modalities. Or maybe you just want to make it a field of study because Virgo is very health conscious anyway. Maybe some of you are meant to be in the healthcare field or meant to be some kind of a healer, or a healthcare practitioner of some sort, and you may decide, I'm really going to do this is my true path. We're all being called to awaken to our true path at this time. All right, I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to go ahead and do our card reading. So the cards we're going to use for this month, as always, the Rock and Roll Tarot deck. This is the 3rd edition, the really small one, which is not really small, but it's not giant like the other one, but it's a cool one. Then we're going to follow up with the old favorite, the Morgan Greer. I've been calling this the Morgan Greer, and I think it's not the Morgan Greer. It's the Hanson Roberts. Oh my God, I went through the whole video calling it the Morgan Greer. Oh my gosh. I mean, I did a lot of videos. I'm working backwards, so I'm calling it the Morgan Greer every time, and it's the Hanson Roberts deck. So for the last several signs it's going to be wrong. Well, oh well, so it is. And then we're going to pull an animal totem from the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards, as always. If you're a level 2 Patreon supporter, then we're going to go ahead and do the extra cards with the good old Rider-Waite. All right, so yeah, a lot of heavy stuff. Major changes are happening. But the changes don't have to be difficult if you can kind of lean into them. Lean into them and just roll with the changes, baby. You got to roll with those changes. All right, what's coming up for Virgo, Sun, Rising, Moon, or anybody with prominent Virgo in their chart? Let's see what we're going to get here. I'll move this out of the way for now. Moving on. 6 of Swords, moving on, traveling. Victories. Going out with a bang is what I'm hearing. Temperance. 3 of Rods. Strength. Empress. Magician. Ace of Rods, and final outcome is Sun. Well, wow, you have a beautiful layout here, Virgo. This is a very lovely spread that we're looking at here. Oh, and by the way, happy birthday to all you late August Virgos. I know many of you are having your birthday this month. And another thing I did want to mention is you're having your annual new moon this month. That's also very powerful. And you do have, look, you have the Sun and the Moon in the spread. They're trying to remind me because I forgot to mention it at the beginning. And the new moon is where the Sun and Moon aligns in your sign, in this case, Virgo. You get 1 new moon a year, and you get 1 full moon a year. So your new moon is your most powerful time to manifest your reality. This is our solar new year. Forget about January 1st. This is your personal new year. your birthday, that is your solar return, but also your annual new moon. And this is it. It's coming at the end of this month on the 27th. And then we're going to have this, we're just coming off with this alignment. So you can manifest from a higher place with this Uranian energy being so infused into our dimensions, if you want to say. You can really break through a lot of barriers. Yeah, but you do have that sun and moon showing up there. Yeah, you're ready to move on. You're ready to get out of the turbulent waters, and you've been asking. It looks like many of you have been co-creating or asking, and the universe is working on it. They're on the case. They're working on it. Oh, by the way, if you see any words or anything standing out in here, definitely pay attention to that, because that's how you can really get a personal message out of this reading. So the moon is talking about paying attention to your intuition. When it shows up like this is talking about, looking for those little synchronicities, those little intuitive hits, those little signs and symbols along the way. I just heard Lily White. What is that? That's a song. I think it's a Jethro Tull song, isn't it? Lily White. Let me grab my phone. It's so much easier to do on the phone than that tablet. I'm just going to pull up a tab real quick, because sometimes there's lyrics. Lily White. They're trying to say bulbs and other stuff, the autofill. Lyrics. Lily White, Jethro Tull. I think it's Jethro Tull's song. No, it's not. Well, if anybody, Lily White Lilith, that's it, it's Genesis. Yeah, Lily White Lilith, that's exactly what I was thinking of. So Lily White Lilith, it's not Tull. I know it was a prog band. There could be some, let's put the lyrics in, because sometimes there's messages there. This one came through really strong, just out of left field here. Lily White Lilith, Genesis lyrics. The chamber was in confusion, all voices shouting loud. I could just hear a voice quite near say, please help me, through the crowd. Said if I helped you through, she would help me too, but I could see that she was wholly blind. But with her pale face and her pale skin, a moonlight shined. Lily White Lilith, she's going to take you through the tunnel of night. Lily White Lilith, she's going to lead you right. Oh, I got chills all over. And if you look at this card, she is pretty pale there. She is pretty white. The white face shining through the light or whatever. When I led her through the people, the angry noise began to grow. She said, let me feel the way the breeze blows, and I'll show you where to go. So that's let me feel the way the breeze blows. That's tuning in, breeze blows. That's turning into that intuition, feeling into the energy. So I followed her into a big round cave. She said, they're coming for you now, don't be afraid. Then she sat me down in a cold stone, I'm getting chills all over, stone throne, carved in jade. So jade could be a stone that you might want to work with. Lily White Lilith, she's going to take you through the tunnel of night. Lily White Lilith, she's going to lead you to the right. Yeah, well, it's just repeating. But when they talk about that, the tunnel of night, that sounds to me like the dark night of the soul. So following that Lily White Lilith through, and I feel like for some of you, this is also having to do with white lilies, flowers, actual white lilies. So that could be, a lot of times people have white lilies at funerals. Hopefully that's not the case, but a lot of times this, maybe that's a special flower for you, or it's a symbol. It could be a symbol for somebody out there, for a relative or something. You do have, this whole lineup here going forward. We have the Three of Rods, the ship is coming in. You do have the Strength card. Strength, patience, building. You're coming from a place of strength, grounded in the earth. Like you are, Virgo, you are grounded in the earth. You've got this Empress, so you are in this place of fertility. You are in this place of abundance. You can go forward in this. It's a balancing of the masculine and the feminine. And you can go forward and make great strides. Look how it's all Magician, Ace of Rods, and it all leads up to the sun. Wow. And the solar, the new moon, where the sun joins with the moon, in your sign is all the way at the end of the month. So I feel like by the end of the month, you've come out of this tunnel of darkness into the light, out of the darkness of the night sky of the moon, and then into the bright light of the sun. The sun is shining on you, and by the 22nd, the sun will be in your sign anyway, so you're really shining. This is always, this is always a good time when the sun is in your sign too. Every year, this is when the sun shines on you. This is when people notice you. This is when you can get what you want. It's easier to attract from this place than from this place. This is the moth in the pupa, and then this is the butterfly spreading its wings. So it's time for you to spread your wings here. I might write that as your title. I do have that new moon and birthday and everything. Spread your wings, or you're the butterfly. I'm going to put both. Spread your wings, and you're the butterfly. Or something about butterfly. Butterfly is definitely coming through really, really strong energy for you. So that is about you coming into full blossom, into full bloom. Beautiful energy. That is that aligning with your north node of success that shows up in the astrology. Okay, so let's go ahead, and you are earth energy, okay? So you're going to show up in this part of the reading, you're going to show up as a pentacle person. Gender aside, king, queen, knight, whichever one shows up first of the earth's pentacle people, that's going to be your card, and that's going to represent you. 3 of rods right on top of 3 of rods, confirming your ships are coming in. Ace of rods, again, planting those new seeds with money too this time. Ace of pentacles popping in there. High priestess, again with that moon type of energy of going within. Tower. You got Tower and 10 of swords, so some of you really have come out of this dark night of the soul, for sure. Out of the darkness into the light. Notice here there's 3 aces all in a row. 3 of swords, 8 of rods. We're looking for earth sign representation. That's going to represent you, not the pages, only the adult cards of pentacles. We're looking for our pentacle peeps. Where are you? Where are you? Seems like they're all going this way. Of course. Okay, so I'm just flipping through trying to find you. Oh, there you are. And look at how this panned out here. We're going to just only focus right here because this is the card that represents you, okay? And we're going to come in with one more row below you and see what we got going on here. Yeah, ending of some big karmic cycle. It's interesting to me, though, that you had the Empress in the very first cards, and here you are showing up, and then here's the Empress just a few cards away from you again. So again, they're really pressing that Empress energy. I mean, when Empress shows up with this card, because this can be the soul of an unborn child. When these two come together, I almost always peg that as a pregnancy. So if it's not you, it'd be somebody you know, and especially when you throw in that Ace of Cups too, a lot of times that could absolutely be a pregnancy. But it's a beginning of all abundance, creativity, blossoming, blooming. I mean, it's good stuff. It can be a little scary to step into that, especially when you've really been through the ringer. You're like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, oh my gosh, I was happy before, and everything came crashing down or whatever. And Virgos, I'm sorry, I have to put some stuff in my ears because the neighbor's blasting out her nasty perfume dryer crap, and it's tickling my ears and bothering me. Yeah, so, it can be a little, you guys are cautious anyway. Virgos are very cautious anyway. There does seem to be this Emperor in the form of maybe the King of Pentacles. Not necessarily a male energy, though, even though in both places. This is somebody of power. The King holds the seat of power, and so does the Emperor. This is somebody in power who is there to help you and that has an opportunity for you, or that you'll be interacting with in a positive way, and it's going to help you. Something that you thought was a dead end or you just couldn't break through, you're being set free from. Some of you, there will be a breakthrough. That can be the Uranian energy, but some of you, you might just say, F it, I'm done with this. I'm moving on. You have come to a completion of a karmic cycle. Many of you have come to this completion of karmic cycle. So whatever this suffering was that you had to go through up here, we're done with that. As long as we've learned a lesson, as long as we don't stay in there and keep reviewing it in our mind and keep pulling it back into the present moment. This is a time with the Uranian North Node conjunction for everybody. It is time to not look into the past. It is a time to move into the future and look into the future. All right, I'm going to do your animal totem. I want to mention real quick, I am opening up for the Libra Ingress reading, the equinox. It's a good check-in point. I offer these quarterly, and this will cover from now till the end of the year as far as the transits, if you want to even look into a little deeper about what's going on with all this astrology. But it's also very much a psychic reading where I tune in specifically to you. These are always very popular. They're available for a limited time, so if you want to get in on it, check it out. All right, let's go ahead and see what is our... I was going to say Libra. I know we're doing Virgo, but there could be some Libra energy that you're dealing with here. Some Libra people or energy. But I know we're doing Virgo, 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 Virgo. Oh, I got two. I guess I'll take them both. I usually never take them both, but I got the rat and the dolphin. And I wanted to take, when I saw the two cards, I wanted to take them both because it's very much, you know, this is like, this can, in that dark, he's going into, that's what that's supposed to be behind him, that illustration that I did. It's supposed to be a tunnel. So they were talking about the tunnel in that song, you know, this dark night of the soul in the you know, and they're not, they just, you know, the rats creep around at night, you know, they're sneaking around at night. And then you go from this into the dolphin energy, who is totally free-spirited, totally Aquarian energy, totally futuristic, you know, is shining in the sun, happy and joyous, sun energy, and it's, you know, so this is a real good, you know, to illustrate the dichotomy of this whole time frame that we're in, and potential where you could come from a dark place into this beautiful place of light, not only because of the Uranian thing, but because of your solar return and your new moon and all this other stuff. I mean, I could read the rat. I wrote, sneaking, sleeking, hiding, stealing, fear, lack, hoarding, squalor, surviving in harsh environments. There it is. Release what no longer serves you. Yes, true, true, true. Then, let's look at the dolphin. Optimist, clairaudient, spirit guide, starseed, joyous interaction, fun and play. We're in the time of Leo. This is the time for joyous interaction, fun and play. Sexuality, caring for those less fortunate, embracing personal freedom and respecting others' choices. Yeah. You have a personal freedom to not put up with this shit anymore, basically, you know. Virgos, you guys are so loyal and you're so dutiful, you know, and you're always, you know, you're always, you know, trying to help other people. And, you know, that can be a very good trait and a very positive thing for you. It's a very positive thing, I should say, about you. But, you know, there's times when enough's enough. And you want to, you know, look after yourself and be, you know, take care of number one. Look out for number one. You had that right here. This is looking out for number one in the very beginning of it. And making sure you're in a space of being well and well taken care of and well looked after and things. And there's going to be pregnancies. If not you, it might be somebody in the family. Okay? All right, before we go, I wanted to real quickly mention, since it's back to school season, and you might be going back to school, some of you Virgos, but if not, maybe you have kids that are going back to school or other things like that. This is just a small sampling of the many notebooks that I have designed and that are on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Amazon, excuse me. The sketchbook kind are blank, so they're just like to draw in, but I have journal kind, and those are lined. Those are lined like a notebook. So if you need notebooks for school, why not get this beautiful thing and also help to support me? They're very reasonably priced. They're only $5.99 on Amazon. And they're under my brand name of VV Creative, which is my graphics name that I use. And one more thing I wanted to talk about, since we're having this Uranian energy and the space age, everything. This is a book that I wrote 10 years ago now. I released it, I believe, in July of 2012, and it's a novel. It's a fictional novella. It's short, 169 pages. You could read it in an afternoon. So if, you know, mainly I guess people are interested in sci-fi. If you like sci-fi, if you like paranormal romances, you know, this is it has that all. It's a paranormal romance, but I've, you know, being a metaphysical student forever, you know, and a practitioner, I've inserted all kinds of cool little things in there. And there was a lot of synchronicity when I wrote this book. I was getting downloads and everything. It's before I officially called myself a channeler, although I was channeling music forever, but I think a lot of this book was really channeled, you know. I was being shown clips, like bits of it, and then and it goes further. There could be more. If there's interest in this in any way, there's more. I had a notebook full of different things that could happen in the, further on the story, including like time travel and walk-ins and things like that. But it is a paranormal romance, a Pleiadian tale of love. It's about a Pleiadian, Athvar, and a girl, Rory Lang, and they meet, and then there's an adventure ensues. It's a good story. It might not be, it's rough. It needs some cleaning up. It needs some going back over. But another thing is, I always saw this as film. I never really saw it as a book. I see it in scenes, opening scenes. If there's anybody out there that is into film, whether, TV or even online, video episodes or whatever, or movies or whatever, that are looking for stories, you might want to consider it. Maybe we could work together to bring it into that format, into a script or, something like that. Because that's always how I saw it. So I'm just, it's not under my name. It's under VM Lariv, which is, Lariv is an anagram of my name, Verlie. So I wrote it under a pen name, so it doesn't automatically show. I did put it on my website a little while back. But I didn't want to, at the time I was not comfortable coming out about all this alien stuff or even really any spiritual metaphysical in a public way. But I just came across it recently and I'm like, I should just tell people about this book. It's 10 years old, so check it out if you're interested. Or even if, like I said, if you're into sci-fi, you might enjoy it. It's a good story. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Have the happiest birthday ever. Don't forget about this time frame and this new moon for you guys. This is going to be super powerful. The Patreon, look at what's on the bottom of the deck here. You had World there too. The Patreon people are coming up next. We're going to put some more cards around you from the Rider-Waite Smith. And hopefully I'm saying the deck names right. I can't believe I said the wrong name. For the last 6 or 7 readings, I said the wrong name. Anyways, Virgo, shit happens, mistakes are made. That's why there's erasers on pencils. Have the best year ever. Do your solar return work. Do your new moon work. This is a very powerful time to really break through any glass ceilings that have been in your own life into the higher realities of, true soul expression. I mean, it's really, really powerful. All right, everybody. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Your interaction with my channel, engagement, really helps me get the YouTube algorithm and get the messages out there. So thank you so much. Have a great month. Talk to you again soon. Bye.